What's up, y'all? It's always awkward when you start these lives because no one's here. You know what I'm saying? And since no one's here, it's just me. But then I know people are going to watch the replay and they're going to be like, yo, this is awkward. And it's like, I know. So, yo, it's Nathan Larson here for the first little awkward time. So while we wait, let's just assume there's like a 3-minute clock down, like timer counting downward, like counting down. I could probably get one of those, but I don't have one. So I'm going to play some music here before y'all start showing up. And then we'll talk and have a great time. Says one person's here. If you're here, drop a comment. Let me know you're here. Why is my computer struggling here? Man, maybe I need to find a different sound. It's struggle bussin'. If you're here, drop me a comment and say, yo, Nathan, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Today, man, what a crazy day. Today, we hit 30,000 subscribers on the channel. It's insane. It's crazy. I don't know how it happened, but it did. And I'm like, whoa. And here we are. All right. If you're here, drop a comment. If you're here, drop a comment, or else I'm just going to think I'm here all by my lonesome self. If you're here, let me know. Be like, yo, I'm here. Comment dropped. I'm streaming on YouTube, right? Yo, people starting to arrive. Man, I know, time zones, right? So I was crazy busy this afternoon, and I was planning on doing this afternoon, but things got nuts. We're here. Henry's music is here. Hey. How are you guys doing? Hope you're good. Taylor, how are you? Taylor's in the house. From John Hall from Tallahassee, Florida. Yeah, where y'all from? Yeah, so it's 8:00 p.m. my time. I know, people all up. Phil Coleman in the house. Bruh. My gosh. Good to see your smiling faces, everyone, even though I can't see any of you. Dylan Kelly, hi from Ireland. Dang, that's awesome. It's probably pretty late or like early, right? If you're here, why did I say if you're here? Obviously you're here. You're watching. Duh. We are celebrating 30,000 subscribers today. Boston. Taylor's from Boston. We got some people from, Nova Scotia, Canada. I assume that's what that is. Ireland. Tallahassee, Florida. This is great. Jason is from Northern Kentucky. That's great. Mike Lowe. Welcome. And this is pretty cool. We're celebrating 30,000 subscribers today. Like, what the heck? When did that happen? Well, obviously today. But that's awesome. Super excited about it. And so I thought, I don't want to just keep doing like these Q&A things, because sometimes they're a little awkward if it's like a minute of no questions, and then I'm just kind of like, yo. Jonathan is from near Hershey, Pennsylvania. I've been to Hershey when I was in college. Went on a tour, music tour, to that part of the country. And if you have ever been on a music tour where you're not really in charge of anything, and you're just kind of like there, and it's like a 2 to 3 week long tour or longer, you kind of just have no idea where you are, like ever. I went on tour to Brazil for a month when I was in college, and I don't remember any of it. Like it was literally just, it was wake up super early, get on a bus, drive, unload, get ready, rehearsal, do the show, eat food, go to bed, do it again. So this is ridiculous. Jonathan says 60,000 next. Yeah, boy. Yes, actually, it would be 30,001 next, technically. Okay, we're not gonna split any hairs over that. So anyway, I've got red vines with me to celebrate. If you've never had red vines before, you're totally missing out. Red vines. The black licorice is gross. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about that. Okay, so lost 11 found 11 says, wait, 30K bro, I legit thought you were a couple of hundred. That's funny. I was in the hundreds last year. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, since you guys all are all eagerly waiting, we're just all on the edge of our seats, right? I wanted to share my story, just how I got into music, and I thought this would be kind of a cool way for you guys to get to know me a little bit better, because obviously, you making videos on YouTube, it's just kind of like, yeah, you just kind of get to see, red vines versus Twizzlers. Red vines, no question. Red vines, look at how thick these things are. I mean, just look at those, beautiful. They're so good. And this right here is freaking, how many pounds is this? 3.5 pounds of red vines. I'm gonna get so fat. My wife's parents got these for me for Christmas, because apparently they think they can buy me off with sugar, which is true. Anyways, I treat their daughter okay, so that's good. I'm just kidding. I treat her fantastic. Okay, so first of all, if you guys want to support this stream, I do have the super chats and super stickers available. Like you can get one if you want to, but no pressure. Like I don't have any expectation you would. I don't know why you would. Like I'm just some dude, right? So, but you can if you want to. Anyways, I want to share my story, how I got into music, kind of beginning to end, and just kind of go through it. And that way, this is a little more interesting than just me being like, yo, let's hang out and just kind of randomly talk about crap, okay? So let's kind of start at the beginning. My whole musical journey started when I was about 6 years old. I was homeschooled. Me and my 2 older siblings, we were homeschooled, and that's why you guys think I'm so weird. Anyway, so yeah, I was homeschooled, and my family really wanted us to get into music and learn piano, because my mom had played piano when she was younger. And so, yeah, so anyway, basically, lost 11, found 11. We got a super chat or a sticker. Yeah, sticker. I don't even know. I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you. That's awesome. So thanks. Congrats on the subs. Thank you. So yeah, I basically started piano lessons, classical piano lessons, when I was about 6 years old. And so that was kind of the start of everything. And I did pretty good. Like, I enjoyed it. But after like 3 years of doing classical piano, learning how to read music and sight reading and learning all the key signatures and all that stuff, and doing the traditional kind of way you would learn piano, my teacher, Mrs. Graff, wonderful lady. She was kind of like a grandmother to me. She was awesome. So did that for, yeah. So basically just, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're awesome. So basically, hey, homeschool gang, Cole. Yeah, boy. So yeah, so essentially, these comments are so distracting. I mean, I love it. Thank you for the comments. Like, just keep them coming. That's awesome. But basically did that classical kind of direction for about 3 years. And then when I remember very vividly being in church, and there was this guy, right, who was like a high schooler, and he was playing the piano, and he was just like rocking it. And I was like, what's this guy doing? Like, I want to do that. That's cool. And so I remember asking him, being like, dude, like, what are you playing? Like, how are you doing that? Like, I only know classical stuff, and you're like up there rocking it on like Sunday morning. And he's like, well, I just play from chord charts. And I'm like, chord charts? Well, how do you do that? And he's like, well, you know, he showed me what a chord chart was, and I was completely confused. I was like, what the heck? That's weird. And about for the next year, I was just like, I want to learn how to do that. Like, I want to be like Colin. His name is Colin. Fun fact, he ended up going to co-found the band 33 Miles, which is a Dove-nominated band. They were on like the K-Love tour. They were on K-Love all the time. They wrote a couple hits, which is pretty sweet. So he kind of went off and did some really cool things. So thanks, Colin. You're awesome. But yeah, he basically just inspired me to want to like get into kind of another world of music, because I was kind of in this like I can only play what's on a page, and he kind of opened my eyes to the possibility that you could actually like write music. Like somebody has to say, you know, someone has to write something, right? Some people are obviously writing music, and the music doesn't just appear from nowhere. So someone's doing that, and how are they doing it? That's what I wanted to know. So I kind of became obsessed with I want to learn how to do that. And my teacher did not know how to teach that. So stopped taking from her, bounced to another teacher that we thought might be able to. And she was like, yeah, like I can teach you scales. But that was about it. So yeah, that didn't help a whole lot. And then finally, just kind of by miracle, my parents ended up finding this guy who was a songwriter. And I was able to take lessons with him when I was about 10. And that basically changed the entire direction of my life. Like, it's weird to think that I was 10 years old when the whole direction got started for me, right? So like he taught me how to play from chords. He got me playing from lead sheets. He started teaching me essentially everything that kind of like became the foundation for being able to write music. And he started helping me write music and things like that. And so Lost 11, Found 11 is from Australia. That's awesome. Greetings from Brazil. I've been to Brazil. What part of Brazil are you from, Luis? I've been to Sao Paulo, Curitiba. Yeah, so anyway, and Jonathan says chord charts are the only way to go for me. Yes. Like if I like, and I've taught piano since, and I always will teach how to play chords, because I think it's just the most free way of being able to play, and kind of the less restrictive way. And I think if you learn chords and also learn how to read music, it's like super powerful, because you can be thinking about the music through the perspective of what chords am I playing in tandem with what notes am I reading and how those interact with one another, rather than just I'm reading these notes and I have no idea what they actually mean. Like they're just kind of a string of notes. Instead, it's like, oh, that's a C major chord in first inversion that's going to this and doing that and whatever else. So yeah, I basically started writing music when I was about 10, and it was all instrumental, just on the piano. Fun fact, I grew up thinking I was tone deaf. So that's awesome. Louise, that is crazy. I am pretty positive I have a friend from that area. That's crazy. Yeah, Curitiba is beautiful. Great. Yeah, I would love to go back to Brazil. Brazil's awesome. So yeah, bom dia, or except I know it's not good morning, because that's all I know how to say. Obrigado. Thank you. That's about the extent of my Portuguese. So anyway, basically, as I was saying, like, so got into high school and started going to public school in high school, and essentially all this time I had been writing music, but it was mostly instrumental, mostly like piano, and got into choir. And choir is basically where I learned that I'm tone deaf, because that's what my family told me. They kind of learned that that's like not a thing. I mean, it is a thing, but I learned that I wasn't tone deaf, and I just had to develop a skill set of how do you actually use your voice and how do you sing, and like understanding pitch and like all that stuff. And so I started doing choir, did choir all 4 years in high school. I got into some of the top choirs or whatever, like the audition choirs and things like that. High school for me was basically like the time that I learned the most about myself as a musician, because I did everything. Like I think that the pattern of my life up until I was maybe in my early 20s was I did everything. Like I never said no to anything, and I never like yeah, I just did everything. And so, I was doing pop music, I was writing classical music, I was writing, piano duets, I was writing choral music, orchestral music, and I was getting all sorts of really cool opportunities as a result of just kind of taking the bull by the horns and be like, I want to write music. This is what I want to do. So like, I had approached the orchestra teacher, for example, and said, hey, like I'm writing an orchestral piece. Could the orchestra read it? And that taught me a lot about how does an orchestra play music, and also taught me a lot about what doesn't sound good with an orchestra as much as what does sound good on the orchestra. And then doing choral music, I started learning, okay, like what things sound good with a choir, what things don't sound good with the choir. And so high school was just this period of just, I was doing absolutely everything. So this is kind of where I got into music production. I was 14, I was a freshman in high school, and my choir teacher knew that I was writing music like nonstop. It's like obsessed with it. And he says to me, Nathan, do you know what GarageBand is? I'm like, no, I was homeschooled, remember? I don't know anything. I'm kidding. So I said, no, I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never used it, right? So he says, Nathan, I want you to learn how to use GarageBand. And he gave me his laptop and was basically like, just learn how to use this. And he ended up allowing me to TA for him for like women's choir or something. And I TA'd for him, but I wasn't his TA really. It was basically just go learn how to use GarageBand. And so I started learning how to use GarageBand. And I was writing and recording my songs that I was writing, and it was bad. Like, I want to be crystal clear. It was garbage, garbaggio. It was terrible. If you guys haven't seen the pro versus pro and GarageBand versus beginner and Logic video, I just put that up on Saturday. It's doing super well. I think it's at like 11,000 views right now, which is great for like literally 2.5 days of being up. That Dexter, who was the beginner in that video, like he actually did a really good job. He did a very good job. That was not me as a beginner. As a beginner who was super bad. Like the songwriting was pretty decent. Like I was okay at songwriting. Okay. But the production was terrible. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no clue what I was doing. Cole, thank you. Love the video. It's awesome. That video was a lot of fun to make. And yeah, it was a ton of fun. So yeah, I basically just completely like, yeah, I sucked. I was not good. Like, no joke. I didn't even know how to quantize for like a year. So I was just doing like the whole, record it again because I didn't do it right and stuff. And I was using like my, the drums and stuff with like built-in everything just built into GarageBand. Hey, Cipher or Cypher. I'm probably saying that wrong. Awesome. Thanks for joining. That's awesome. So yeah, I did that for about a year, and then I got a job, and I saved up, and I bought a MacBook Pro so I could get Logic, because I just knew like this is awesome. Like this is some really cool stuff. And so something I want to kind of mention, and I think maybe this would be helpful for some people, because over the course of the last probably 10 years or so, I've had a lot of people who are just like, you're so talented. Pablo, hey. And I'm not saying I'm not talented, because I know I am. Like there's definitely natural inclination. However, I want to kind of make a point about dedication and work ethic and some of this stuff. Yeah, basically when I was in high school, I would show up to school around 6 to 6:30 in the morning. In fact, the band teacher would always get there early and let me in because no other students were there. He would let me in the back door, and I would spend the first hour and a half to 2 hours every day practicing piano in the concert hall, because they had this $100,000 Steinway at the high school I went to, and I got permission to use it because they knew that I had been playing piano my whole life. And so literally every day, it was just like every day it was like I wake up and it was like music. Hey, lost 11, found 11. I have a course that's launching in about a month. It's called Producer Accelerator. I already have people in it right now, but I'm not actually opening it up officially to everybody until then. If you want, you can actually get a free module of that course, and then you'll be notified as well when the course actually launches. I will actually I'll type in the comments that link. So that way you guys can kind of give it a test run if you'd like as well. This is I think that's right. Yeah, so there's the link there, guys, if you want. That's a session breakdown of one of my tracks called I Will Rise. It's a cinematic pop track. But yeah, if you get that free module, anyone who gets that free module, I'm going to be notifying you guys once the course actually launches. It is, in my opinion, I'm biased. It's probably going to be, it is, I think, the most in-depth producing course on the internet. I have spent the better part of the year working on it and building it. So yeah, it is not just like, here's like a mixing course teaching you EQ and compression. It's like a full-blown, like, let's make you a freaking amazing producer in a very short period of time. Okay, anyway, that's that. But yeah, basically, yes, Apo or Apo, I'm probably saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Yes, I have a songwriting module in there, which is actually basically a full-blown songwriting course. So yes, songwriting is a huge part of producing, by the way. Like, if you don't understand songwriting, even if you're not writing the songs, but if you don't have a good grasp on songwriting in general, it makes producing a lot more difficult because you're not going to know, you're not going to really know like whether the song is actually ready to be produced in the first place or what things you need to change. Because oftentimes as a producer, even if you're working for artists, so Smith, he says, any chance of access to Q&A included in the course? Yes. In fact, it's a private Facebook group of only members in the group. That's one of the cool things. There's a whole back-end community as well. So we've already got a community started in there. Weekly live streams in that group for the students in the course where I actually give feedback on the stuff that you're doing. I spend an hour every single day in that group making sure that I'm providing as much help as possible. So basically, if you're asking questions, it's going to get answered the same day. Providing a lot of, giving a lot of feedback essentially. So, Ryan says he's a new subscriber. Thank you. That's awesome. I look familiar. No, in the Northwest, no, I would not have. I've not done any gigs or shows or anything west of Colorado. Everything I had done. Renato asked if the course is focused on any software. No, it is not a DAW specific course. It's a principles course. Whatever DAW you're using, it's meant to be actually teaching you like principles of production. Pretty much anything you can do in Logic, you can do in Pro Tools, you can do in Ableton. It's just a matter of having some of those basics. Down the road, I would like to kind of include like a whole course of Logic in there, as well as like other DAWs that I would do as well. So anyone who wants a little bit more on that stuff would have it. So anyway, kind of getting back, if you guys have any other questions, or just feel free to drop them in. And I said this earlier, but if you guys want to support the live stream, I do have Super Chat enabled, and you can get a sticker as well. You don't need to feel like you need to. I'm just some random guy doing a live stream, and you guys are here for some reason. I don't even know why. I'm just kidding. So going back on to just celebrating 30,000 subs. So thank you guys. Let's go. High school for me was literally just like eat, sleep, drink music, like it just every day. And no joke, so I would spend an hour and a half to 2 hours every day practicing piano or writing music every single day before school. I was almost always late to my first period because I just didn't really want to stop in first period. Who wants to go to school? And then I had about every day I had a TA that I was a part of for choir, in which basically was TA, and really what it was my choir teachers saying, feel free to do whatever the heck you want. Yeah. Apo says, are there resources, book sites that teach about songwriting? Also, what was your journey in developing your songwriting? Great question. I mentioned this a little earlier. If you've just hopped in, you're probably missing some of the story. I've kind of been sharing my story and how I got into music. I actually studied under a songwriter when I was 10. So I had a lot of advantage over a lot of people, I think, because as a kid, I was studying songwriting. So like, while most 10-year-olds are like, I don't know, I don't know what 10-year-olds do. But yeah. Oh, have I ever heard of Jamstick Studio MIDI? If so, what do I think about it? Oh, sorry, I didn't see that, Astro Gamer. I did not see that. That sounds super familiar, but I would need to look into that. I'm not super familiar with it. I would have to look into that. Sorry. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what 10-year-olds do. What do 10-year-olds do? I think now they play video games, but I don't know. I was studying songwriting. So, oh, Dave, would I recommend music school, university? No. I went to school. I have a degree in college. I have a music degree. It's probably in my closet somewhere because like I don't really feel the need to hang it up. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. So, waiting for your Mexican food to arrive. That's hilarious, Diego. But yeah, like, so high school for me was just, yeah, like, honestly, yeah, it was just eat, sleep, drink music all the time. So, kind of getting to Dave's question about school and college and all that stuff. I did decide to go to college, and I decided to study music composition because I was writing so much music. I considered getting a degree in music production, and guys, like, at this time, I was just like doing everything. Like, I wanted to do classical stuff. I wanted to write. I wanted to do film scoring. I wanted to do pop records. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. Like, I didn't really have a focus. I just music. You know what I mean? Like, music. That is all I wanted to do. Dave, welcome to the channel. That's awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. That is awesome. So I went to college and I got a degree, right? So I'm going to college, and college for me was basically, let me put it this way. I almost dropped out. So, it wasn't because it was hard. Like, college actually was kind of a breeze for me. I think college was easier for me than high school, but I almost dropped out because I really didn't see the value in teaching me the skill set that I actually wanted to do professionally with my career. So yeah, like, I just got a question from Ryan asking about iPad. Do I have any recommendations for iPad? So I don't really use my iPad for anything other than Logic Remote. So, ooh, this is a good one. So, currently engineering and producing an EP for an artist who doesn't like using a metronome. Do you have advice for production techniques where there is no metronome? When you say that they don't like using a metronome, are you talking about a vocalist, or are you talking about a guitarist, drummer? What instrument are they doing? Do you have the ability to lay down other instruments that would essentially function as a metronome? So that's what I would do. If I have someone's like, I don't want to use a metronome, I would make sure that I'm producing stuff and putting stuff in the track, even if it's not going to be there permanently, that gives a very, very, very clear idea of what the tempo is and what the metronome is and all that stuff. If you're talking about a drummer who doesn't like using a metronome, I would tell them to suck it the frick up. Yeah, when I first got started producing and like actually producing artists and stuff like that, I've had that happen, and I pretty much told them they have to. I said, if you want pro level quality, you got to put in pro level work. I think that's a really good thing to teach an artist. If an artist wants to work with you and you want a pro quality track, you gotta do the things that make a pro track. So, yeah. So what are my thoughts on technical side of music, like audio production? That's kind of a vague question, Dave. What do you mean by that? Makes programming drums. Yeah, that is. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, obviously, if they're just like refusing to do it, that sucks. I try to pretty much tell them, if you want a professional sounding track, you've got to do it this way. So and Smith says, yeah, if you're a drummer, you must use a metronome. I agree with that 1,000%. I think if you're a musician, you need to use a metronome, like, period. So yeah, I've actually Andrew Wong's flip. I want to check that out as well. So, you convinced him for one track to use it. So then tell him like, Musica, dude, this guy right here, he thinks he might have been the 30,000th, 30,000th. I don't even know how to say that. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so yeah, I would tell him, hey dude, like you just used a metronome and that was your best one. Think there might be a correlation with that, perhaps. He's not convinced. Well, that sucks. Yeah. That's tough, dude. Look, artists can be tough. Would I try Studio One? Yeah, I'll try it. Louise, I'll get to your question here in a second. So would I try Studio One? Yes, I would. I would try it, and I plan on down the road spending some time using other DAWs and kind of getting familiar with them. I'm familiar with Pro Tools. The producer that I learned from was a Pro Tools guy, so I had to become fluent in Pro Tools with that. Here we go, Louise. Here we go. Starting to write songs, would always think that my songs suck. Do you have any tips for beginner? Yeah. So I think a couple things. The Jammerman, terribly sorry for not subscribing early. I've been watching for a while. Hey, no worries. 30th, thousandth. That's great. That is hilarious. I love it. Okay, so regarding songwriting, a couple things. One, learn chords. Like literally learn chords. That is super, super helpful. So learn chord progressions. Melody and lyrics. Like, so chords, melody, lyrics. Those are like the three like pieces, and then song structure. Actually, I would put song structure as like more important than even those. So like really learn song structure. Like I would be breaking down like what makes a great song in the first place. And then actually understanding like, okay, like this, here's intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, is there going to be an interlude between this or a drop or something like that? Or are we going to be getting straight into the next verse? Is the verse similar to verse one, or is it different than verse one? Then pre-chorus, chorus, do we really need a second pre-chorus? So I think the main thing is that, actually breaking down like what structurally makes a good song, and then understanding like what makes a great melody, what makes a good, chord progression, and then how do you fuse that all together with great lyrics? That's obviously not something I can really dive into super, super great detail in terms of like a live stream answering that question. That's a really deep topic. It's actually one of the reasons why in my course I have an entire songwriting module. It's literally like a songwriting course inside of the course. So again, if you guys want, I'm going to be releasing that course in about a month. That's when it's going to go live, and I'll be sending out, I'll be making a video on it, letting you guys know and stuff. And if you want to jump in, great. If not, no problem. Musico, what's the best DAW for me? Logic. Ooh, this is a great question. So what would be the first thing to master as a beginner to pro? Okay, so I think that the very first thing that you should be working on is building a good arrangement. And so really what that means is taking a song in a raw format, whether that's piano and vocal or guitar and vocal or whatever, and starting to learn how to layer up different instruments and actually build a dynamic arrangement. And what I mean by a dynamic arrangement is an arrangement that's going somewhere. So if you start a song softly, you think about it like a book or a movie, right? This is something where it's like it's going to have moments of tension and release, of build up and then explosion, and then like drop back down to the sad moment, to this and that. And so at the end of the day, building a good arrangement is all about how do I take my listener on a journey from the very, very beginning all the way through. And this can be even as simple as using the same instrument. Like you can build a super dynamic arrangement with just a piano, right? So like listen to the difference between beginning of where I start here. I'm just going to improvise something to where I take it throughout. Ready? I mean, there's a ton of reverb on that. Wow. I don't know what's up with that piano sound. But anyway, I think the main thing with that is like you started really soft, right? Up here. And then by the end of it, it's like, okay, we're going to go somewhere, right? You know, so it's like all of a sudden we're going somewhere, right? And then, yeah, anyway. And then obviously like the piano in a way is like an orchestra in and of itself. But then how do you use other instruments to kind of elevate that? Like we're going to take, you know, like a bass sound and put the bass sound in there. Like, are we using some strings to kind of add some texture? Or are we using a synth or a pad or whatever? Anyway, the main point is like, how can we take that and then build something on top of that? What piano sound is this? This is the Giant from Native Instrument. So yeah. Okay, Smith says, starting with the drum groove or a lead line or a bass line, I seem to always flop around to different parts rather than one cohesive timeline of building a track. Yeah, like I'm honestly kind of all over the place as well when it comes to building something. So one of the things I teach in the course, pretty like really strong, is as a producer, you should always be focusing on the things that are going to providing you the fastest results, the quickest, like first. So lost 11, found 11. Thank you for that. Super sticker. I think that's what it's called. Super sticker. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. So y'all, if you guys want, you can support this live stream. I got super chat enabled and stickers. Great way of supporting the channel. Lost, found. I'm just going to call you lost, found, dude, because lost 11, found 11. I don't know if that's right, but thank you. That is super generous. Really appreciate that. But again, at the end of the day, I think it's really important that you focus on the things that you know you want first. So in some cases, maybe you know that you want drums to be in this particular section first. So great. So work on the drums first. Maybe you know you want piano there first. Then do piano first. Start where you know, like without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to have this thing there. And then build from that. If there are sections of a song that I'm producing where I'm not really sure where I want to go or what I want to do with it, I'm not going to work on it until I have other things built out. And a lot of that comes from just my own experiences of having wasted a ton of time on things that it's like I could just focus that creative energy on things that I already know I want to do and then come back to that later. And maybe when I come back to it later, I'm going to have a fresh set of ears when I come back to it. Great example is I'm actually producing a track right now that for the entire process of producing this song, I've been like the second pre-chorus. I'm just like, I have literally no idea what I want to do with this. Like, it feels like it doesn't fit. I don't know how to build the energy into that second chorus. What the crap am I going to do with this? And guess what? I decided I'm not going to worry about it. Like literally almost the whole track is produced. And guess what? You got this second pre-chorus that has basically nothing. It's just empty. Like it's like a chord progression in the vocal, like the dummy vocal. And you know what? I'm cutting it. Like I'm just cutting that pre-chorus because at the end of the day, I started realizing, you know what, this pre-chorus is not actually pushing the song forward. In fact, it's kind of taking away from the growth and the development of the song. So I think that this just makes the most sense to remove it entirely. And so sometimes cutting things is actually a pretty good idea. So yeah. And anyway, Apo, thank you so much. That is awesome. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, supporting the stream. Yeah. If you guys want to support it, go for it. And, if not, then don't. Just hang out. Let's just hang out. Anyway, red vines for the win. If you guys weren't here at the beginning, I have a whole bucket of red vines. And hey, Smith J789, thanks so much. Yeah, that is awesome. This is hilarious, guys. I love it. If you guys don't know what red vines are, I recommend you go buy some right now. They're so good. Oh, man. Awesome. Sticker up this guy. There we go. Gotta have balls to chop it down. Yep. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, you know, I have a funny story. There's an artist that I produced who, the song that he brought to me was fundamentally pretty cool, but like the verse and the chorus, there was so much confusion. Like I didn't know, like the chorus didn't really feel like a chorus. It didn't really feel like there was a chorus. It was kind of weird. Now, and I was just like, you know what? Like, I think we need to rework this song. Let's start there. I think it's so easy as a producer, not only with artists if you're working for an artist, but even if it's for yourself, like you're self-producing, you're producing your own stuff. It's so easy to say, I got this song. Let's start doing this. Let's start producing it. But sometimes you have to take a step back. Is this song ready to be produced? Is this song good enough to produce? Because not every single thing you write is going to be gold. Like I've been doing this thing for like a long time. It's like I've been writing music for 16 years. I've been producing music for 13. I've written more crap than gold, and I've produced more crap than gold. Okay, Luis, you don't have red vines in Brazil. Oh, man. But you know what you do have? You have guarana. That stuff is amazing. Oh, my gosh. Guarana is so good. Literally, Luis, no joke. I want to go back to Brazil just for that. So my wife and I just moved to a new city, into a small town. And we used to live in a bigger city. And there was this Hispanic grocery store, and they actually had a guarana. And I'm telling you, I literally would go and buy that stuff because it is incredible. It is so stinking good. Anyway, if you guys don't, oh my gosh, that's so good. Anyways, we're like not even talking about my story anymore, and that's totally cool. That's totally fine. But okay, so I went to college. Yeah, guarana rocks. It's amazing. So good. So, if you don't have red vines, what do you use? Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This guy knows what's up. Yeah. Right? Red vines with Coca-Cola. That is so funny. Oh, man, that's great. More poop than gold. Honesty and truth will keep me watching your channel. That is great. Love it. Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to say something. What's the equivalent of red vines in Australia? I don't know. Like, it's licorice, basically. So it's just licorice. It's just like a really fancy, like, I don't know, like old-fashioned licorice? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's good. It's good. Twizzlers are hollow, too, but not as hollow. They're not as easy. Like, it kind of is like, if you suck, like, pop out of it, it's just like, comes out so slow. It's like, come on, red vines. And then you eat the red vine after you've had Coke. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I remember I used fries to pretend to suck at my cola. That's great. Fizzy in the middle, exactly. It's like then it's like a Coca-Cola infused red vine or whatever soda you're having. So that's awesome. Just kind of going back to this whole thing about like, just I don't know, trying to be honest and truthful and not just saying what people want to hear. There are a lot of people on YouTube in particular that make videos, make content that seem to kind of just like preach stuff that I think is kind of unrealistic and preach stuff that I think is also really kind of, I don't know how else to say it. Like just kind of garbage, to be honest with you. So, yeah, there are a lot of channels that kind of, do this one thing and everything will be magic, right? Do this one thing and then your stuff will sound great. Guys, it's never that simple. It's not. And I think we're not really doing anyone a very good service in saying that, right? Like what's that telling people who are new to this game of like music and like songwriting and producing and production and mixing and engineering and recording and all this stuff? What is that saying to somebody to be like, yeah, you do this one thing and it'll just make everything better? This is the last EQ video you'll ever need to watch, or this is the last songwriting you'll ever need to watch. This, that. It's like, no. It is not that simple. Sidechain your kicks for instant heat. Yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about. I get sent a lot of music, okay? And a lot of people are saying, critique my mix. Let me know, like, what do you think of this mix? And I've said this in videos before, so if you've watched some of those videos, this is nothing new. But here's the deal. Most of those problems are, and they're not mixing problems. Like most of those problems are just like musician problems. Clickbait, that's exactly right. Those are typically musician problems. The best thing that I've heard from some of the producers that I've mentored and coached is when they say things like, Nathan, you actually helped me be a better musician. Like that is music to my ears. Music to my ears, because here's the thing. If you hope to be a great producer, but don't think you need to be a great musician, you're out of your mind. In fact, as a producer, you kind of have to be a better musician than the average musician just in general, because you are bringing together everything. You're producing the whole thing. Like you need to know like what's going to make this piano sound good, what's going to make these drums sound good, what makes the bass sound good, what makes this sound good, vocals sound good. How do I do all this stuff and put it all together, right? Doesn't that take some musicianship to do? It's a different type of musicianship. In a way, you are the orchestrator, right? You are the conductor of the whole thing. Watch this and become a prodigy, not clickbait. I'm going to put that up. Yes. And here's the deal. And Cole says you have to fail so much before you succeed, and all you can do is try to help yourself as much as possible along the way. Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. But you know what? There's also principles. There are also principles. This is the thing that I think a lot of people get wrong, is they think that tips and tricks do the trick, right? Like tips and tricks don't do the trick. Tips and tricks can help you if you already have some principles down. You already need to understand arrangement. You need to already understand what actually makes a good arrangement. What makes a good song? What makes a good melody? How can we reinforce a melody, right, with what's going on underneath of that melody, musically speaking? How are we creating arrangements that aren't too messy, that aren't too muddy, that you're actually building arrangement with the mix in mind? And instead of just like slapping a bunch of crap in there and then thinking, you know what, I can EQ it and call it good. I'll compress it and call it good. Nope. Because here's the thing. Pro mixing engineers, like the guys that actually do this for a living, yeah, they will cut that crap out. They won't even leave it in. If you like overdo it arrangement wise, like you have way too much low end going on, believe it or not, a good mixing engineer knows what that little M button is, the mute. They will mute it. Anyway, I can rant about that. This is literally one of the reasons I started this channel, was because I just was like, no one is really like actually teaching. No one's really actually teaching the good stuff. It's all clickbait. It's all just like, yeah. Anyway. And look, I want to be entertaining. And going into 2021, I'm excited. Like I'm jacked about 2021. I have some super fun videos coming out. Like, yeah, like I'm not even gonna tell you because I just want it to be a surprise. I've got some very entertaining videos coming out. I'm doing all sorts of production challenges to demonstrate some of this stuff in a fun way and hopefully a more digestible way rather than just watch me rant at you, because I don't want to do that. But there's gonna be some really fun videos coming out. I'm really excited about 2021. So yeah, regarding 2021, also guys, one, I'm gonna start live streaming twice a week. I will actually have a schedule, so this won't be like random. Look, I'm gonna randomly pop up and do a live stream here. It's going to be scheduled. I'm still working out those details. I will have it figured out by the new year. Cole Welsh Davis, my boy. Thank you for supporting this live stream, my friend. This is awesome. You guys, seriously, like, I don't want this to like, I don't think I can overstate how humbled I am that there are people that want to watch my videos, there are people that want to be a part of this journey, and I'm so appreciative. So thank you. Cole just supported this live stream with a sticker. If you guys want to support the live stream with super chat or sticker, you can absolutely feel free to do that. No pressure one way or the other, but thank you, Cole. Thank you so much. But going into 2021, 2 live streams a week. One is going to be live songwriting, and the second is going to be live producing. And what I'm planning on doing is songwriting first at the beginning of the week, and we're going to write a track, like write a song every week live. And then that second live stream later on in the week is actually going to be producing that track. And then I'll do that live as well. I'm probably not gonna be able to like produce the whole thing in one live because it's not very common that I can produce an entire track in one sitting. But I'm gonna get as much done as I can. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay. So that's something I'm super, super excited about. Thank you so much, Smith. Dang, this is awesome. Never donated to a stream until today. Thank you so much. Like, I'll eat a red vine for that. I'll red vine myself for that. I thought about making myself a whiskey sour, but then I realized I wouldn't drink it because I talk too much. So instead I have water, which I haven't taken a sip of this whole stream. Oh man. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna be live streaming. Wow, sorry. You guys are all like, stop chewing. Oh my gosh. So here's a question. Love the content. Was wondering how you would create a vocal plugin, like a custom. So I'm not really into I'm not really into software development at all. So honestly, I don't know. Honestly, Denzel, I'm a lot less interested in. Please don't choke to death. Nathan says he's gonna be uploading so much more videos in 2021, and then he died. Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh man, yeah. Oh man, John Hall, we got a super chat. Thank you. That is seriously. Thank you, John. This is awesome. This is really cool, guys. This is really cool. I just love the community we're building here, honestly. Like, you guys are some of the coolest people. So sorry, getting back to Denzel about like making a plugin. I'm not really into like the software, like the development side. I'm a musician straight up. The way I see plugins is they're just a tool. So I'm trying to think of a good analogy here. Think of a contractor, someone who like builds things, right? Like their hammer, they like using the hammer because like it's gonna do good stuff for them. But they're not gonna be like, how do I make a hammer, right? Like I want to go build my own hammer. They're probably not gonna do that. They're probably gonna be like, the hammer's cool. I like my hammer. It does the job. Like I'll just go buy a hammer. That's kind of how I view plugins, like and sample libraries and things. By the way, my advice: buy sample libraries, not effects plugins. Effects plugins are not actually going to make that big of a difference on your sound. Sample libraries do. Okay, sorry, Musica, I think you already asked this question. I'm so sorry. There are so many questions jumping in here. Okay, what gear do I use in the studio? Looking to get some more stuff. So, like I actually just said, my main kind of investments that I make are in sample libraries, in sounds, because apart from like, you need a microphone, right? I don't really think you don't need to buy a mic locker. Like for me, I have, how many mics do I have? I think I have 4 mics, and one of them is a mic I'm literally never going to use. It's this little Amazon mic. Anyway, it's kind of a piece of crap. So, sample libraries, like if you don't have a decent mic, I would maybe recommend getting one. Honestly, like my go-to, sorry, it's way down there. My go-to mic is an Avantone CV12. It's a $500 mic. It sounds so good. It is really good. This mic, I use this a lot. This is the Loudon LS208. This is fantastic. This is comparable to the Shure SM7B, but better. Anyway, I actually am friends with the guys over at Loudon. I've worked with the guys over at Loudon. They're amazing. I highly recommend Loudon microphones. Top 3 sample libraries. So, that's tough, man. Top 3 sample libraries. Well, I don't know. I mean, Native Instruments, I love Native Instruments. They're stinking amazing. Unicorda might be that's my favorite piano. Unicorda is incredible. I love it. For drums, Battery 4 is where I typically go for drums. Really, really, really like Battery 4. John just got an SM7B. If you don't have a cloud lifter is going to help bring up the gain on that as well because they're kind of quiet. Output, I love Signal by Output. it is amazing. I love everything Output makes. Their stuff is really good. Brian is asking if I use templates for my productions and what do they consist of. I do not, actually. I always start fresh and scratch, just because I like to build organically. I don't like building something and then like doing the same template over and over. I really like just going scratch. Ty Roberts says that I turned him on to the BBC Orchestra. That's awesome. Yeah, their stuff's good, man. I really like Labs as well. Here we go. Can I show us how to do ASDR stuff with synths and adding effects like reverb, resonance on piano sounds are pretty new to sound design, so I was wondering if I could help. Yeah, I mean, I could probably make some videos on that stuff down the road. And I think, and it's ADSR, just so we're clear. It's attack, decay, sustain, and resonance. Resonance? Anyway, ADSR. Yeah, I can definitely do some stuff like that. I'm actually planning on doing. Yes, you were wondering about the game, John. Yeah, if you get a Cloud Lifter, that'll help. They also, I think there's one called 7 Up. It's a different, like, because Cloud Lifter, I think it's the brand. I think there's another one called 7 Up. If you guys don't know Colt Caparoon, I think that's what he recommends. And I would definitely trust Colt when it comes to that stuff. That guy's epic. Yeah, or Release. Why did I say Resonance? Release. Duh. Duh. I don't know why I was thinking Resonance. Anyway, yeah. So as far as that stuff goes, actually, I'm going to be doing some videos like sampling stuff. Like, for example, I'll give you guys a little bit of I said I wasn't going to tell you what I'm going to do, but I kind of just feel like that'd be cool to tell you guys what I'm doing. So I've got a video I'm going to start working on here pretty soon. I'm going to make a track using random stuff in my house. So I'm literally going to just sample random crap in my house. And then I will be doing all sorts of manipulation with that stuff. Forgiven. Thank you. Thank you, my man. Cole Walsh Davis, thank you so much for joining the stream. It was a ton of fun. Thank you. And thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. If you guys are just joining the stream, drop a comment. Let me know you're here. It's kind of funny. I initially was like, I think I'm gonna do a 30-minute stream today. It doesn't need to be super long. And then here we are, like almost an hour. And I'm just like, this is great. This is a ton of fun. I'm really enjoying this. So, yeah, that's cool. So, I'm trying to think. I mean, I was like talking about my story and then you guys have questions and that's awesome. Like, I'm happy to answer any questions and just talk with you guys too. Like, that's a ton of fun. But yeah, I'm going to be working on a video here, like I said, really soon, making a track using random stuff in the house. It's going to be awesome. I'm really stoked about that. Basically going to sample a bunch of stuff, just like, silverware and cups and glasses and stuff. Be pretty cool. Yeah, that's that. I'm going to be taking, I took the soundtrack from Inception. Oh no, I got a thumbs down. That sucks. Sorry. What did I do? What did I say? It's probably an accident. They probably meant to click the like button, but, bad aim. Oh, man. So, I think, hey, JG, I missed the story. No, honestly, the story's been kind of interweaving in all of this stuff. Like, I kind of started the story, and then people asked questions, and I got distracted. But I'll kind of pick it up. Thank you. We'll pick it up. I think honestly, it'd be kind of cool to talk about is just kind of like getting into producing and doing it professionally. And please sample the dryer. There we go. That is awesome. Subscribed a day or two ago. Whoever disliked is just jealous. That is hilarious. I love that. That's so funny. Just jealous. Okay. The thumbs down is from Twix. That's great. Yeah, I'd love to just share like how I got into doing this stuff and actually making some money with it, because I know a lot of people are curious about like, how do you make money with this thing? Like, how do you do that? So funny story. The very first, okay, so like, I mean, I did shows when I was in high school and like I got paid for, like I was doing shows, like actually doing concerts and stuff, which was, cool. It's awesome. But like none of it was producing. None of it was like I'm producing music and getting paid to produce and compose and write and whatever else. So got into college. Freshman year was just balls to the walls, school, whatever. My sophomore year, though, I'm at a birthday party for this couple that I go to church with, right? And we're talking, and it's cool. And end up meeting this dude who's a filmmaker. He owns a film production company. And we're talking for like an hour. And the funny thing is that like I really, really wanted to do film scoring at the time. That's like what I thought I was going to be, was a film composer. And so essentially we're talking, and I end up at one point finally to say, you know what, I'm just going to tell him I'm a composer and I produce music and stuff and see what happens. So I tell him, I say, hey, I actually compose music and I record and produce, and I've been very interested in film scoring. I would love to do that. And he was just like, that's cool. Like, do you have any examples of your stuff? And I was like, yeah, I could email them to you. And he says, yeah, that'd be cool. So, I get home and I email him, I don't know, 3-4 tracks. And was like, hey, this is some stuff I've done. What do you think? And he basically says, you know what? We want to give you a shot, actually. We actually are filming a commercial right now that we have a little bit more of a budget than normal, and we could use some of that for music. So yeah, I got hired to do that, and it was a wild experience. Let's put it that way. I learned a lot. Since then, I've scored a lot of stuff. I've scored many, many, many other things since then. In fact, I had been offered a gig to score a feature film, which was amazing, and it sucked because just the direction of the film was not one that I felt like was up my alley as a composer, and so I did turn it down, which was sad. It was pretty heartbreaking, actually, because I sat down with the director and we talked through it and budget and all that stuff, and they were going to pay me thousands of dollars to do it, which, by the way, isn't actually a whole lot. So if you're talking about like real film scoring, trust me, it pays pretty good, like $1,000 a minute of music. Anyway, so I ended up getting invited to a screening of the film where they wanted to find out if this was something I'd want to do. So I screened the film, and it just, I finished watching it, and I was just thinking, like, I just don't know what I would do with this, and I don't really know how I could contribute to this in a way that I thought would be authentic to me. I would be having to essentially fake it and do stuff I'm not even comfortable with. And so I said no, and anyway, it's kind of a bummer. And in the movie was kind of, it wasn't super great either. And I just, anyway, Mr. Fail, hello from Italy, Italian, good vibes. That's awesome. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, if you're just joining the stream, drop a comment. Let me know what's up, And we've gotten some people who have supported this live stream with super chat and stickers. If you guys want to do that, feel free. No pressure, one way or the other. But if you don't, I am going to be very, very angry. I'm totally kidding. I'm not going to be angry. People have already been very supportive during the stream, so I'm very appreciative. Thank you, guys. Real quick, Darlington asks, what's your take on the new free piano VST Hammersmith? I've not tried it. I'm going to have to look that up. I'll let you know. But yeah, basically, my whole introduction to doing this thing and making the monies was film scoring. And so, yeah, I basically got hired to do that. I got hired from them again. It went well enough, I suppose. It was actually really hard. That first runaround was tough. The first draft that I sent to them, their response was basically, yeah, that's not even close to what we it's not even close to what we wanted to have. So yeah, Smith, thank you. Is it Smith? Is that your name, or is it Smith JJ? What's your name, dude? Because if your name's not actually Smith, I just feel awkward. But yeah, thanks so much for joining. That was awesome. And yeah, dude, we'll see you in the course. It's gonna be awesome. Cheers from the U.S. Much love coming to you. But yeah, I learned a lot film scoring. I also learned that it's super stressful. If you've never done film scoring, on a tight deadline, because here's the thing about film scoring that people don't really know. Music is the last thing. The last thing. Mark, thank you. Thank you. That's funny. Yeah, so the thing with film scoring is the music is the last thing that gets added, right? So typically it's been cut, it's been edited, it's typically done or very, very close to done. So as a film scorer, as a film composer, you're getting like something that's typically in like done format, or if it's not done, they're going to be tweaking around the music. They're not going to be changing too much. And that also means that sometimes those deadlines are crazy. Crazy. So Brian wants to know what instruments I play. I play piano, guitar, bass, drums, cello, alto saxophone. I sing. And like any other auxiliary percussion. So, I mean, if it has strings and if it can be played with hands, I can learn how to play it. Ethan, congrats on the 30,000. Any tips on making acoustic-based music? That is a good question, my friend. Make sure you're recording in a very good room. That is super, super important. Yes, what Smith just said, acoustic treatment. Yeah, you need to make sure that you're not recording in a crappy room. That's one of the biggest mistakes. Logan's Lessons, howdy. Have you already, I think, Logan's Lesson, you've already submitted your track for me. I'm excited to hear it. I'm going to be digging into those on Wednesday. Pat Flanagan in the house. What is up, guys? Bunch of new people jumping on the stream. That is great. Pat says, congrats on 30K. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. It's good to see you again, man. It's really good to see you. It's cool to see all these people that are coming back. That is awesome. It's good to get to know you guys. Pat, where are you from? So going back to Ethan Cave, making acoustic-based music. Yeah, so a good room. Mic placement is actually really important. So yeah, if you're doing anything with guitars, like, good mic placement, getting good source is really important, like making sure things aren't coming in too hot, or even too soft. Like you want to be kind of reaching for like low end minus 18 dB to 6 dB, minus 6 dB at the top. Congrats from Mexico. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I used to be quite good at speaking Spanish. Unfortunately, not so much anymore. I had some friends in high school, one from Cuba and one from Colombia. And so I got to practice a lot of Spanish in high school, and that has been many years. John Hall says, yeah, about mastering. That's awesome. You want to know how much I know about mastering? Not a lot. Oh, man. Pat is from Montreal. Nice. If you guys are new to the stream, Red Vines for the win. Dude, someone else just thumbs down the live stream. What did I do? What did I do? Y'all just jealous. Okay, here's a good question. What can I do for a better acoustic treatment in my room? That's a good question. So, that's a good question. Paneling is better than this stuff. Oh, no. Wait. There, like that right there. That's like that foam treatment. Actually doesn't help like a ton. Oh, they unthumbs down, and then this is probably an accident. Bad aim or whatever. That's funny. So this like foam stuff will help with some of the ringiness, but it's not going to help with the mid-range and below. So, as far as acoustic treatment goes, oh my gosh, I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. This right here, that's more paneling. Now, I made my own. This is a temporary studio, if you guys didn't know. I've mentioned this before, but I don't expect everyone to know everything I say. This right here that I'm in right now is not actually my permanent studio. This is a temporary studio. There is a room across the way that we are going to be remodeling next year going into spring. By the way, I'm going to be making I'm making a video on it. It's going to be legit. So, and Pat mentioned his channel. Dude, I'll have to check out your channel, dude. I will definitely look your channel up after this is done. Yeah. Don't have to worry about them fools. They're sleepy. That's hilarious. Yeah, bass traps help a lot. Here's the thing. Oh, that's so funny, Lord Kingdom. It was you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time. So I was gonna say, what's funny is this room, I have a door right here and a door right here. Can't put any bass traps there. And so if I'm going to put bass traps in this room, they would have to be here, but I'm not going to because it doesn't make sense for me to do that in this particular room right now. And besides, mixing is really not my main forte. Bass traps are more for mixing that are going to help with trapping the low frequencies. So that helps a lot. You can also look into Sonar Works. I'm actually in the middle of going through it right now and kind of figuring out what I think of it. I don't know what I think of it yet. I'm still trying to figure out my opinion. But the new studio is going to be legit. I am going to be building custom acoustic paneling, custom bass traps. It's going to be legit. It's going to be so legit. So if you want to build your own panels and not spend an arm and a leg on like actually good panels, you want to use, it's called Evans Corning or Corning's Evan. I can't remember. I always get it screwed up. I have it written down. It's a specific material. It's like 2 inches thick. You don't want to get it on you. It's like basically insulation. So you need to wear gloves if you're going to do it. But that stuff helps a lot. That stuff actually reduces low frequencies like that. So that's what I'll be looking into. Anyway, good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys are just hopping into this stream, if you guys want, you can support this stream with super chat or stickers. You know, it's whatever. It's up to you if you want to. You don't have to. People have already supported the stream earlier in the stream, so like, you know, I have enough to go buy myself dinner. Like, I'm not gonna starve tonight. I'm kidding, but you don't have to. Like, seriously, no pressure whatsoever. I need a good drink of water. Okay, so here's the thing. If you guys have any questions, anything you want me to talk about, let me know. Otherwise, I think we're going to wrap up here pretty soon. I've been streaming for like 1 hour and 13 minutes. Daggum, that went fast. Guys, I told my wife I was going to do this for like half an hour. I was like, you know what, Michaela? This is going to be a shorter stream tonight. Well, that's a fail. That's a fail. Yes, Owens Corning 702. Yes. Absolutely. Ooh, here we go. Now we're talking. Okay, so I don't know if I have a favorite. I'll give you a few that I really like. James Horner is fantastic. I love James Horner. James Newton Howard is fantastic, and Thomas Newman. Those are 3 that I love. Logan's Lessons. Peace out, dude. I appreciate you too. I am looking forward to hearing your track. I'm really looking forward to hearing your track for that video that we're going to be doing. If you guys didn't know, I am going to be putting up a video where I had basically produced a portion of I wrote a song, threw it out to you guys. We had about 60 people who were interested. And tomorrow is the deadline, by the way, if you were doing that. Tomorrow is the deadline to get that in and basically making a video called My Subscribers Produce My Song. It's going to be really cool. In Logan's Lessons, he was one of them. Okay, Ethan, any tips on making music on an iPhone, GarageBand? I'm going to be honest with you. I've never really done that. So I don't want to just like, I don't want to give you advice on it without that actually being a part of my process or something I do. So I don't have anything specific other than focus on making music. Everything at your disposal is nothing but a tool. And at the end of the day, it's about how you use that tool musically. So my advice to every person watching, every person, is don't get too wrapped up in the tools themselves when you need to be focusing on being a better musician. Like, work on the musicianship, work on the musicality and those things, and it is absolutely going to work out for you. So, Pat Flanagan, my man, we got a super chat. That is awesome. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. That is so awesome. Okay, here we go. Going through some of these comments. We just got a whole bunch of comments. So what would be great if I made an orchestral programming related video series. I would need to put some thought into that. That's a good suggestion. I would need to think about how that would fit. I've got a lot of my videos for the future kind of planned out. Here's a good question. So building a production. Oh, come on. Do I have an order of operations like vocals, percussion, and pads and things like that? This is a really, really great question. What I would say is I usually start with piano and then record some sort of a dummy vocal. That way I have a reference for where I am. I can start hearing how, okay, if I add, I don't know, this particular synth or this particular thing, how is that going to sound and feel with a vocal? Does that work? I'll mute the vocal a lot of times, so I'm just working on the instrumental. I'll put the vocal in, take it out, and kind of work that way. It's kind of like what I said earlier in the stream. Brian, I don't know if you were a part earlier in the stream, but one of the big things I like teaching and explaining, and this is something in the course in my producer accelerator, which by the way is not even for sale. So I'm not pitching anything right now because it's literally not for sale. It'll be for sale going into the new year. It'll be in like a month that launches. But one of the big things I teach in that is focus on the things that you know for sure are going to be there. If you know for sure what you want for the drums, then do it. If you know for sure what you want for the bass, then do it. It doesn't matter the order. It matters more about, are you actually working in a way that is going to really get you kind of snowballing, get the momentum moving where you're excited about every single step you take. The main thing I think a lot of people do that is just really it kills creativity is to start focusing on the minutia. Is to start focusing on like the very, very like nitty-gritty details. Yes, this is a good question. Will it be available after it ends? Yes, it's going to take a while because this is a longer stream. It'll take a while, but yes, the stream will be available probably a few hours after. It takes a while for YouTube to process these streams. So yeah, what I was going to say is that just like if you're getting super like bogged down on like every little piece, especially early on, those things can just completely suck out like the creative drive. You know what I'm saying? And so I really try to focus on making decisions quickly and moving fast. So yeah, Pat is taking off. Dude, thanks so much for watching, and seriously, thanks so much for supporting. That's literally amazing. I'm so appreciative. So yeah, we will hopefully see you in future streams, bro. So yeah. Boom. Brian, that's kind of the answer to that question that you had there. That was kind of long-winded. So, looking if there are any others. Pashi asked what my favorite 60s album is. You know what? Confession, I don't really listen to 60s music. I just lost a subscriber, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Cool. I need to just like adjust this stinking piano here because you know what? I'm just. Oh yeah, listen to that piano. That sounds good, don't it? I'm gonna play us out. If you guys, last call. If you want to support this live stream, I'm begging you. I'm kidding. I'm not begging you. You know, one last from the red vines before the end. Have I ever wanted to switch DAWs? No. I used Pro Tools a lot with the producer that that taught me or I worked under. Not a fan. Not a fan. Love the honest answer, so I'm staying as a subscriber. That's hilarious. Here we go. I'm gonna play it all out. All right. Let's see. I'm thinking F Lydian. F Lydian. Let's get away from major and minor. Let's do some Lydian. I need something a little more melodic. Let's get a melody, shall we? I like that. Boom. All right. That was fun. Not perfect, but that was fun. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. This was a ton of fun. I'm really excited. And you know what? The new year is coming. The new year is coming, and I'm excited. I'm so thankful for every single one of you. I feel like I say this most live streams at the end, but it's because I truly feel it. Like, I'm tremendously thankful. I've said this before, and as the channel grows, I feel like I need to say it again because I think a lot of people look at the growth and they're like, oh, wow, you're 30,000. Like, that's so big. That's so cool. I was at 1,000 subscribers at the beginning of this year. Okay. 1,000. And I remember a very vivid, the piano plugin was the Giant. I was going to say, I had a conversation with my wife at the beginning of the year, and I told her, Michaela, that's my wife's name. I said, if I got to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I would be so happy. Yeah. I'm trying not to like feel emotional about that, but I do. Yeah. I'll just leave it at that. I did not anticipate or expect to be here at the end of the year, and I'm really thankful. And Lord Kingdom, you asked what the plugin is. It's called the Giant. It's by Native Instruments. It's one of their pianos. It's really good. But yeah, just very thankful for all of you. And this channel has brought a new excitement into my life that I'm so thankful for. And like I never anticipated or expected any of this. And so yeah, the fact that so many of you guys are interested in these videos and watching what I'm doing and give a crap is kind of beyond me. Like, I care a lot, and I want to be a voice to help people and whatnot. But you know, I didn't have this expectation to be like huge or big, and then now it's looking at it and I'm just thinking, holy smokes, this growth has been ridiculous. And yeah, like Lord Kingdom, 100,000 by the summer. There we go. What's crazy is that's possible. Like, I'm realizing that is possible. And I'm going to tell you guys that when I look to 2021, I just started working on what I'm calling the roadmap to 2021. That's what I'm calling my goals for next year. Not a single goal is related to the number of subscribers I have. I don't care. It's not that I don't care, because I want to see the channel grow, right? But I can only control so much of that. Like, really, like I can't control who chooses to subscribe. But what I can control is how many videos I make, what types of videos, how much work I put into it, how many live streams I'm doing, the way that I'm supporting you guys and helping you guys and teaching you guys and helping and being hopefully a good voice, hopefully being inspirational in some way, shape, or form. And that is something that I'm excited about for 2021. That is something I'm excited about. My plan for 2021 is over 100 new videos and 100 live streams. So combined, 200 new pieces of video content for you guys next year. And I'm jacked. I'm floored. I'm stoked. We're pushing this thing forward, y'all. And I'm excited. This channel is just getting started. You guys think, literally, this year was the prelude. So this year was the prelude. Andrew Gallagher subscribed earlier today. That is awesome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Stoic Philosopher too. Honestly, guys, yeah, like, I like me some stoicism. Take the emotion out of it. That's awesome. We're at Law of the Future. We're ready. Oh, you better be. You better be ready. I'm excited, guys. This can be fun. So, just looking ahead, 2 live streams every single week starting next week. Next week. Boom. Yep. Start next week. Songwriting stream once a week and a production stream once a week, and then 2 videos every single week. That is my goal for 2021. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. My wife probably would like to see some of me tonight, so I think we're gonna enjoy the rest of the evening for us. I know some of you guys, it's not even evening. It's already tomorrow. That's just kind of weird. So with that said, peace out, everybody. Thank you so much for all the support and love.